Hey, Eastview family, Jason Sniff here. Happy Friday to you. I really hope that this week has just been filled with life as you're going and journeying through the book of John. We're going to be in John 2, in particular, the story that we've been talking about all week, the first miracle of Jesus and turning water into wine. But first, I just have a confession I have to make. I have a problem. And in fact, I have quite a few problems, but I just want to talk about one, and that is that I often rush from thing to thing. And for some of it, it seems to be altruistic, like getting things done and, marking things off. Okay, next thing. But if I'm not careful, I miss key moments in a day. I miss potential miracles. I miss the opportunity to see what might be happening behind the scenes. I remember this was a long time ago, my first mission trip, and this was back when I was in high school a few years ago, and we're going to Monterrey, Mexico, and our goal was to build a building and help a church out and do VBS and all of these things. And that first night that we arrived there, the director of the organization that we were partnering with brought us together. We had a time of prayer, and I'll never forget this. He said it this way. He said, "Now here's the best thing that you can do this week. Every morning when you get up, stand up on your 2 feet and just ask the Holy Spirit to allow you to be 2 feet in every moment." He goes, "You'll be surprised at the difference that little action makes in your life." I'll never forget that. That actually helps me in these moments. I don't know about you, how you are with each day. Do you just kind of move forward and rush through things, or do you catch moments that were intended to remind us of things? That brings me to John 2. Just want to highlight a verse here. You know the story by now, but verse 9, I want to highlight something. It says this: "When the master of the feast tasted the water, now become wine, and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, the master of the feast called the bridegroom together, and he said all of these things." What I want to focus on here is that this phrase, the servants who had drawn the water knew. And that word knew, it means to notice, to perceive, to understand what's really going on in that moment. You see, Jesus didn't stand in front of everybody and perform this miracle. He was behind the scenes. It was a low profile, and yet the miracle happened, and so many people benefited from it. So if you think about, the bridegroom and the feast and the those that were in charge of everything, they all benefited from that miracle, but they didn't know where it came from. But a few people did because they were paying attention. And so a reminder for me, maybe for us, that Jesus is constantly doing things in and through and around our lives. The big question is are we catching these moments? Are we recognizing and paying attention to the everyday miracles? Or is our life just mundane? It's from one thing to the next. And so I say all of that for a challenge for you and I, which is, may we be like the servants who perceived, who noticed the moments of the miracles. And may we not be like those who just benefit and assume that we're going to get something along the way, because the difference here is that the disciples also noticed it, and they then since believed in Jesus. And so may we be like those who recognize and perceive each moment of today as a potential miracle. Now, real quick, a couple of tips that have helped me out. They've challenged me as well. As in the morning times when I get up, I try to write down 3 things I'm thankful for, just right off the top. Boom, boom, boom. And then this one's a little bit more difficult for me, which is at the end of my day, taking a little bit of time and going back through the day and just writing down 3 ways that I saw Jesus at work. And it helps me catch those moments and potential miracles that Jesus is doing in and through and around my life. And so that's what I give to you today. May we not miss the miracle of Jesus today. May we pay attention and notice and know what he's doing. May you go in God's peace today. Have a great day.